Hey everyone, my name is Kelly Mena and I'm the executive producer and creative director over at NanLite USA. If you are new to our channel, please make sure to check out all the other cool tutorials that we have using various lights from NanLite. In this particular one, we decided to take one of our simplest, but also one of our most popular lights, the Lumipad 25, and do something a little bit more dramatic and interesting, something that we don't tend to do with a light panel like this. So I'm actually using the Lumipad 25 right now for my A-roll. I actually have it as my key light, and then I also have it off to the side, kind of creating like a hair light, a rim light. I wanted to make sure to kind of show a quick demonstration of how easy and straightforward they are to use. They're panel lights that are really thin, and they have a frost in the front that's actually kind of diffuses the light, so you don't even really need to add any diffusion or anything like that. They are diffused themselves. And I can change the color a little bit. I can actually go daylight or tungsten, which is more like indoor light. But I did want to show something that was a little bit more dramatic and mysterious and kind of interesting and had a little bit more depth to it, just to kind of show you how you can take something as simple as the Lumipad 25 and, you know, shape that light and kind of make it an interesting kind of dynamic, especially if you're somebody who's a musician and you're just maybe getting into shooting videos of yourself. There's still interesting ways to do that stuff where you can be cost effective and you could do a couple of simple things to make that shoot a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more interesting. So I recruited a friend of mine that is an amazing guitarist, and he also has quite the guitar addiction, I would say. He collects a lot of them, and I would say his addiction kind of matches mine for cameras and lighting, and that's saying something, because I really love geeking out about this stuff. So he got out one of his favorite guitars, and we decided we were just going to shoot in his living room. Now, since I didn't want to feel like we were just sitting in the middle of his living room while he was playing the guitar, I decided to basically create like a darker atmosphere around him, and very simply just kind of threw a couple of really dark backdrops behind him and shut off all of the ambient light. So I made sure that no lights were coming from the windows, we shut the curtains and stuff, and that we basically isolated any kind of extra lighting other than the intentional lighting that I was adding to the scene with the Lumipads. I also made sure to kind of throw something dark onto the floor, because he kind of had like a light floor and light was even kind of bouncing up at him. So I really did kind of create this like dark atmosphere around him that kind of absorbed light, so that the light that we did place there was very intentional and was serving some kind of purpose and not being off-kiltered by any other light that might have been around. So there's a couple of secret weapons when I am shooting, especially something like this where I want it to be very intentionally kind of high contrast lighting, where I have very distinct shadows that I'm trying to create and then very distinct highlights that I'm trying to create. One of them is black wrap. Black wrap is this great kind of, it's like a foil material that's all black, and it can absorb the light and shape the light. And so I use that sometimes as like a little bit of a flag to flag off the light. And I made sure to do that with these lights so that I didn't have extra light kind of spilling onto the backdrop, and I didn't have light kind of spilling into areas I didn't necessarily want it to be spilling on. I wanted it to shape him, hair light and a side light and a rim light. And I wanted to, like, as he moved, for his face to kind of catch the light, and for the guitar to have kind of very subtle and mysterious lighting as well. Another tool in my arsenal that I really love to use is my Haze Machine. My friend, who's a musician, did say he refers to that as a smoke machine, so perhaps you know this as a smoke machine. But basically, I think it does add a little bit of something when you're shooting something or lighting something. And if you've ever been to a concert, which I'm sure many of you have, and they do a cool lighting show to kind of go along with the music, you'll often see smoke being used just to make it a little bit more interesting. And I thought this would be the perfect time with kind of like a dramatic shoot to add a little bit of smoke in there and a little bit more mystery, if you will. So that is our very simple but mysterious and dramatic, cost-effective shoot with our Lumipad 25s. If you want to see any other tutorials, or if you haven't seen the rest of our tutorials, definitely check those out. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Do the bell thing. Comment below. Subscribe over here. Do all of those things, please. Thanks so much.